how's it going? Welcome back to Pop's Movie Dungeon. Today we got a fun video. I want to do a room tour. This is probably something I should have already done. I feel like that a room tour gives somebody a really good idea of what to expect from a channel, and it kind of gets you a chance to really know the person a little bit. I think you can really learn a lot from someone based on their likes and their interests and what they collect. And this will give you a general idea if this channel's for you or not. So if you watch this and you decide that, hey, this might be something that interests you, consider subscribing to the channel. You know, give me a like, and we would really appreciate your support. So I will try not to ramble on too much here. I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but let's get started.
Is Dolby Cinema. It's where the most advanced cinematic technology you've ever experienced begins. This is Dolby Atmos. The number of speakers around you no longer matters, because this is the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with 10-point accuracy. Soundscape sits the moving scene.
What a vehicle on the side of the road.
Whoa! What is this place? Wow, you guys, let's go.
What captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury. Remember this? It's just the beginning of Dolby Vision. Because what you thought was black isn't. This is black. This is contrast that reveals details deeper than any image you've seen on the screen. This is luminance that means the difference between light and pure energy. Energy that is about to reveal an entire universe of color you've never experienced in the cinema.
To start off here, these are all of my Blu-ray releases that are not considered boutique or collectibles. These are just Blu-rays that I have collected over the last many years. I have them in my extra closet, kind of my overflow closet, mainly just because of storage concerns. I have just limited space in my movie room right now, and so I keep these in here for now. And I upgrade them to 4K as they become available. But just want to show you guys this. This is the rest of my collection that you're not going to see displayed in the movie room. Okay, we'll get started with my movie shelves here. This first one here is my 4K shelf, and we'll start off with what I have on top here. This is probably my favorite piece. This is my Clint Eastwood complete collection from 1964 to 2018. This is everything he's ever directed or starred in. I thought this was going to be a complete set, but I just recently found out that he is working on another film. I'm not sure if he's starring or directing in it yet, but I hope he makes 10 more. But regardless, this will not be a complete collection after all, but very proud to have this. I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan. You know, my dad passed away in 2014, and it was one of his favorites as well. So I kind of got this up here as kind of like an homage to him as well, just a memory piece. And these photos you see next to the box set, these came out of the box set. There's actually about 10 of these, give or take, just some different stills of different Clint Eastwood movies, and these are two of my favorites. This was my wife's idea to frame two of these. I thought it looked really good. And of course, I got it underneath my Clint Eastwood poster there. Sorry for the glare. So I'll just scan over these real fast. I'm not going to go through great detail on most of these, but hopefully you guys can pick that up there. But these are all my slipcover 4K releases, and I'm a self-proclaimed slipcover whore. I love me a slipcover, and if any way possible, if it's on my shelf, it's going to have a slipcover on it. Down at the bottom down there is my box sets, my 4K box sets. Now I do have the Back to the Future set, as you'll see in a minute. I have it displayed, but I just put the box on the shelf. I just love that movie so much, so I just went ahead and put it down there. Over here are all my 4K steelbooks. And up top are all the Marvel 4K steelbooks, except for the one that I am missing is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That steelbook is way out of print, and it's very expensive to get, and I'm trying to find a good deal on it now. So hopefully one day I'll be able to fill that out. But 'cause I see that one missing steelbook. I see it every time I walk in the room, I think. But these are just a fast overlay of the rest of my steelbooks there, if you guys can make those out. And down there at the bottom, I got my Game of Thrones 4K set. Now, one thing that's kind of neat is, you see Woody there. I got Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4. I found this person online selling these magnetic spine things, whatever, that you put on the spines of steelbooks. And I got the ones for Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4, and it makes a cool image of Woody there. She sells some other ones for like Star Wars and the Marvel sets and stuff like that, but I started off just with that only. I thought it was kind of neat. But anyway, that's the rest of my 4K collection, at least from the big studios. I do have some more 4Ks from the boutique labels you'll see here in just a minute. So on this shelf, I got up here we have the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings 4K steelbook box sets. I'm a big Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings fans. I love these releases. Just recently got the Indiana Jones 4K set. The steelbooks, the artwork's good enough, but the packaging they put it in is this flimsy cardboard, which most of you guys know now. And it could have been done so much better for a franchise of this caliber. So wasn't too happy about that. This next shelf is my Vinegar Syndrome shelf. And I've managed to get quite a few titles in the last year or so. And these are the ones that I have so far. There's a lot that I'm missing. This first set up here, this is their drive-in series. These are like 70s really obscure movies that they put like 2 per disc on DVD. And they're some of their earlier releases. And I have managed to get all of them except for number 2. Number 2 is, I don't know what the deal is behind it, but I don't know if it was a very limited release or they lost the rights, but it's hard to even find it even on eBay, and when you do find it, it goes for like $300. It's just crazy money. So I'll probably never have that one, but other than that, I have the full drive-in series there. Those are my non-slip covers, movies that have never received a slip cover. But usually they have a sale twice a year. They do a halfway to Black Friday sale and a Black Friday sale, and they'll usually do some retro slips where they'll make their slip covers for some of their movies that never had them. And so I'm hoping that one day some of these will get slip covers. And the rest of these all have slip covers. Some of these have special packaging, and I plan on doing a Vinegar Syndrome video here soon with some of my favorite packages and my favorite releases that I have so far. And there's some of the box sets, and if you see there's the Beastmaster and 6-String Samurai. That's a new line they have called the VSU line, which I think is Vinegar Syndrome, maybe Ultimate or Ultra 4K. Both of these are in 4K. So those are pretty cool, and I'm going to go over those in a future video, the packaging on those. Most of you guys have probably already seen that. And these are some box sets, the Forgotten Gialli Series 1, 2, and 3 by them. A Series 4 is coming out later this year, I think, so I got those. Of course, there's I'm going over my next shelf here, but there's my Oculus Quest 2, some other Vinegar Syndromes. And up here, I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan. And of course, I had to grab this Rambo 4K set when it came out. I love this. And I'm waiting for a Rocky 4K set to come out, but I had to throw that up there for now. Now this statue, a few years back, my wife and I went to Philadelphia, and we got to run the steps and see the statue, and we ran into a guy that did a tour up there. His name is Mike Kunda, Kunda, I think it is. Anyway, he does tours up in Philadelphia for all the Rocky sites, and he's got a YouTube channel. You ought to check him out. He's probably the biggest Sylvester Stallone fan on the planet. But we did like a 3-hour tour with this guy, and he takes you around all the sites. We got to see Mickey's gym, Rocky's house, and just all the scenes from the movie. And it was definitely a bucket list experience. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. So anyway, that statue was from that trip up there. So moving on the next shelf here, up here at the top, you have my Back to the Future 4K steelbooks. And I love the way you put them side by side. It makes a cool picture of the car there. Don't have many Funko Pops, but I had to grab the Doc Brown. And my youngest son was nice enough to get me this Marty McFly with a DeLorean car, so a very special piece there or whatever. I was very, very proud of him for getting me that. And on this next shelf down, I have my Kino Lorber titles. And one thing about this company that I like so much is all their spines, as you see here, have the same design. And so it looks so good on the shelf, it just makes my OCD real happy. And I had to display the Mad Max 4K that they released recently. I just love that cover art. Moving down to the next shelf, I got my Vestron videos. I have managed to get all of these, and you see what has on the spine there. They're numbered, so of course I had to get all of them. And these are some great horror classics in this line. They just released the Wraith, which I covered in a video the other day, whatever. That was number 20 in the line. That just got released last week. I know it got released this month, but I just got that in a couple days ago. And of course, I love the Maximum Overdrive. It's one of my guilty pleasure movies. Great Stephen King. Well, I'm not going to say a great Stephen King movie, but it's a fun Stephen King movie. How about that? So, but it's one I can throw in and always enjoy. I mean, it's something, like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. This next shelf, this is my era video titles. And if you see there in the front, these are my limited editions. I don't have a huge era video selection, but there's a lot that I still want to get. I love the way they do their limited edition collector's editions and the 4K sets. I mean, they're just fantastic. And these are some of the slip covers, and we're not going to talk about those there at the end. They don't have a slip cover. And go down to the next shelf. I got two from a company called Eureka, which is a UK company if memory serves. And I got Fright Night and Cujo. I had to give Fright Night, even though it don't have the slip, whatever, because it's one of my favorite horror movies of all times. And Cujo, real fast, I just want to show you this one. I mean, that artwork, get better light there. That artwork is just great. And it comes with a nice booklet and everything. It's a cool set. But I have a few Criterions. I do want to get more, but I got the Fast Times that came out recently. I got Night of the Living Dead, Dazed and Confused, Silence of the Lambs, Scanners. I got Something Wild because it was filmed here in my hometown. A Jeff Daniels movie, a pretty fun movie. The Breakfast Club. So my Criterion is very small, but I'm hoping to add to that here soon. I wasn't able to partake in the recent Criterion sale because I had just, spent some money on the Vinegar Syndrome sale and the Severance sale, and so I was trying to take a break. And these are my Blue Underground titles. I have all the 4Ks that have been released so far. That one there, The Two Evil Eyes, my good buddy Johnny Walker sent me that one last year, and they just announced recently that Two Evil Eyes is getting a 4K. Now, Blue Underground, they're the best in the game when it comes to 4K restoration. For at least I feel like everywhere, but at least in the boutique world, their 4K releases are second to none in my book. Next to that, I have two from a company called 88 Films. That's the I Know What You Did Last Summer box set, and then I have the Urban Legend box set. So that's what I have on this shelf. Now going to the top here, I got some pretty special pieces to me right here. This first one is really neat. My daughter, she spent a year teaching in Thailand, and she ran into a street vendor over there that made these unique items out of just scrap metal. And she said that he had made an R2-D2, and she was nice enough to bring this back to me. So this is a very special piece, but this came from the streets of Thailand. It's just a really unique R2-D2. And I got my the Skywalker Saga 4K set back there, of course. Now, my wonderful niece and her husband, bought me this the other day. It's like an air freshener. It's a wax burner. I think it's a company called Sensi. But it's a cool R2D2, and if you notice when you turn it on, let me turn off my lights real fast so you can see this better. But it portrays a Princess Leia up on the wall. There's like a light that shoots out R2D2, so I thought that was really unique. Not to mention, it makes my room smell a lot better. So thank you guys for getting me that. I love that piece. All right, moving on, guys. I'm gonna try to speed this up just a little bit. I feel like this video is gonna take forever if I keep on running my mouth. So real fast, I got the Yoda BB-8 and water white. Now I know that does not go together, but I love Breaking Bad. I grabbed this water white at an FYE a few years back, and I just ain't quite figured out where to place him yet. But right now he's kind of just chilling next to Yoda. I got some of my box sets and Scream Factory titles down here, and there's my Evil Dead 1 and 2 4K Steelbook that came out, I think, at the end of last year. There's the 4K releases of They Live and Prince of Darkness from Scream Factory, and a couple more box sets. Over here, you got The Fly, The Omen, and the Halloween box set. Now, a funny story about the Halloween box set. Before I even heard of Scream Factory, I was at an FYE one day, and I seen this Halloween box set, and I love the movie, so I just grabbed it. Had no idea how rare it was going to become. I think I got it on sale for like $99. Well, this thing's way out of print, and everybody's always looking for it. Once I started collecting Scream Factory, I realized that this was a pretty hot item. And after doing some research, money-wise, it's the most valuable item I have in my collection. So I'm pretty happy to have that. Of course, there's my Michael Myers on top there. My horror-related Funko Pops, which other than the Back to the Future is the only ones I have. You know, there's Jack from The Shining, the Texas Chainsaw, Chucky, Freddy, and there's Norman chilling over there. A couple of my Fangoria magazines I collect back there behind them. And down here starts what I'm most proud of. When I first started collecting boutique labels, Scream Factory was the first company I started buying from. And it became a journey trying to collect all of these collector's editions with the slipcovers. It's not easy. When I started this, they've been doing this, I think, since 2012 or 13. And I didn't start until beginning of last year. And so hunting some of these slipcovers down was not easy. It was not cheap, but it was a lot of fun. And I am proud to say that I have now got a complete collection of the Scream Factory collector's editions with slipcovers. And it's probably what I'm most proud of in my collection. All right, guys, so I'm a big Atlanta Falcons fan. Yeah, I know that Super Bowl against the Patriots, I'll never get over it. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, there's my signed Steve Bartkowski helmet. Anybody that's as old as me from the 80s, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks of all times. So very happy to have that. And this used to be, before I had this turned into my movie room, this used to be my oldest son's room. And then it got moved into my younger son's room. But we had a good friend of ours paint this on the wall. And when I got the room redone to my movie room, I just got it framed out and had to keep it on the wall. So I'm very proud of that. It's a very nice, it's actually painted onto the wall. It's really, really neat how she did it. So it looks better in person. I don't know if the video is giving it justice, but it looks really nice on the wall up there. So I got that. Moving on down to my next shelf here. These are all my standalone releases of Scream Factory. Now those first 5 that you see there, first 6 you see there, are all custom slipcovers. And I have reached out to the gentleman that does those for me, and once he gives me permission, I'm going to do a special video on these slipcovers here, so I'm going to save that for another day. But my goal is to get all these standalones with those slipcovers, and he does those at a very reasonable price. So that's one thing that I'm working on. But I'm just going to scan through these real fast. These are the standalone releases I have got so far. That Nightbreed was a hard one to find. There's the Babadook. And continuing on down to the next shelf, these are some more of the standalones. And the whole next shelf is standalone releases as well. All right, move down here. You have a few standalones, and then it goes into their double feature releases. And I am missing still quite a few of these. And there's a couple of these that are pretty hard to find, but these are their double features. And then right there, right next to Elvis there, the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, that starts their Shout Select line. And I've managed to also collect all the Shout Select lines. And One day I'll worry about these slip covers, but some of these came with slips, some didn't. All the ones that did, I have. And this next shelf here, my last shelf, is the rest of my Shout Selects. It's up to number 120 now, so I just got number 120 in, which was Little Big League. And up here I have some more of my Funko Pops. There's American Psycho, of course, everybody's favorite clown. Ash, Hannibal Lecter, and oops, he's crooked, but there's Pinhead. And up top there I got my Jason Voorhees sitting on top of my Friday the 13th box set. I love that box set. And this is the 4K Dawn of the Dead set. I was lucky enough to grab that before it went out of stock. And Resident Evil, I mean, it's a horror, so I guess it goes there. It's not Scream Factory, but I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and that 4K box set, I had to grab that. So, guys, that's all of my movies. Now we're going to go over and look at all the posters, and we'll be done here in just a minute. I'm going to try to do this without too much glare. It's not going to be easy, but I want to go around and show you guys all the poster art that I have up. First off, I'm a big Star Wars guy, if you guys hadn't seen that already, but there's my Stormtrooper watching out for things. You got Yoda welcome you to Pop's Movie Dungeon. And these are and I don't remember the sizes, but these are 3 bigger size posters that I got framed from the original 3. I'm an 80s kid, so I was raised on these movies. I grew up just loving Star Wars. I still do. Even the faults of the new movies, I love them all. So those are my Star Wars posters. There's my Friday the 13th poster from the box set. I love that. Some of the details on that poster are just great. Of course, there's my Falcons logo. Big Falcons fan. And of course, you got to get the classic T2 poster. And sorry guys, I'm using my new fancy selfie stick. It's called my forearm. Sorry. Anyway, I'm going to try to do this without too much shake, whatever. Don't get nobody sick here. But there's my Joker poster. Big fan of this movie. Some people are, some people ain't. But I love it. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. Moving over here, of course, we have the classic Jaws poster. Terrible glare there. There's my Jurassic Park. You got Darth holding down the fort here in the front. Now, I'll go over my sound system here in just a minute for you guys that care about that. Got Rocky, Back to the Future, one of the greatest movies ever made. Predator, I'm a big Schwarzenegger guy. Had to get those 2. That's 2 of my classic all-time action movies of all times. And there's Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino, probably my favorite director. Armageddon, I know you guys don't laugh, but this movie here, it's one of those movies where you can't go in and really think about anything. Just go in and just watch it. It's got a great cast. It's just a fun-ass movie. A lot of great lines. I love this movie. I've seen it a ton. A lot of people hate on it. I think it's great. And this Thor Ragnarok, I mean, I just love the artwork on that poster. Sad to get that. Of course, you've seen the Clint poster over there. So guys, that probably looked kind of rough with all the glare, but I always think you can tell a lot about somebody by the posters I hang up in their man cave, movie room, whatever you want to call it. And that's mine. All right, guys, going over my sound system real fast to kind of finish this out. I got everything Sonos. I am kind of a Sonos fanboy. I got the Sonos Arc, and there's my Alexa Studio. That thing has great sound. And I just recently got my second Sonos subwoofer when they updated their software to allow for 2 subwoofers. That made a big difference. I was lucky enough to get the Xbox Series X. There's my 4K player, and I have a region-free player that I got the other day for my Region B stuff that I have. And I do everything on a Roku. Now you guys seen the lights earlier. That's done by this here. This is my Philips Hue sync box. And the Philips Hue sync box is, it's really neat. You basically just run all your equipment straight through that. And how it does it's pretty amazing to me. But anything that comes up on the TV, whatever colors are on the TV, your lights turn that color. You seen the demonstration earlier. It's kind of a neat little piece. And I got my Philips Hue lights going around the baseboard around the whole room, and behind you can see that, behind my movie shelves. So I got that done. And just recently, it's probably gonna be a mess back here, but I got the Philips Hue bar or light that goes on the back of the TV. That was out of stock for a long time. Problem I have is that this is an 83-inch TV, and that bar or that light strip is only for a 75-inch TV. So I'm gonna grab a couple more of the Philips Hue lights to put on the bottom of the TV here to kind of give the lights around the entire thing. I just hadn't done that yet. Those lights are not cheap. But that's kind of I guess, an aerial view of the room. But up there, I have two Sonos Sonos Play 5 speakers mounted to the wall up there. And for you guys that don't know, this soundbar is a Dolby Atmos soundbar, and it has lip-firing speakers that kind of mimics Dolby Atmos. It does a really great job. I mean, it sounds really good. I know there's audiophile people out there that probably would do more than a Sonos system, but I'm telling you, for the room I have here, I have no complaints. It sounds fantastic. All right, guys, real fast, I just wanted to show you the seating we have in here in the movie room. You got the blue LED lights on the bottom there. A real good friend of mine and one of my sons built that back riser for me, and it kind of gives you the theater effect in here. It's really kind of, you know, made the room more like a theater. We got two of those couches, identical. So super comfortable. I'm real happy with them, no complaints at all. All right, guys, the last thing that I wanted to show y'all is this is my latest hobby, I guess you would call it. This is where I've started my YouTube channel. I got a new LG 38-inch ultra-wide monitor. I got the Stream Deck, which I'm still trying to learn all the capabilities of, but that's really neat. You can do a lot of cool things with that. I got the new Apple M1, Apple Air M1. Got my microphone, my light-up desktop keyboard and mouse mat with a phone charger. One cool thing about this here, I mean, you hit a button and your studio lights come on. So, and there's where I do my overhead shots at. There's my boom arm for my phone, my other camera. So guys, like I said, this is all the crap that I'm trying to learn how to use. So, okay guys, well that's Pop's Movie Dungeon. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If y'all made it this far, I did not intend for this video to be so long, but I really did enjoy sharing all this stuff with you guys. If this is something that you guys feel interests you, if you could please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that like button. We could use all the support we could get right now trying to get this channel up and going. I'm putting a lot of work into it, trying to learn, and I'm having a great time, and it was really cool sharing all this with you guys. So once again, thank you guys for checking it out, and I will see you in the next video.